right? JSON.stringify. Now what does this means? Now we have already seen the main objective of JSON when we were studying JSON.parse. We have already seen that JSON is mostly used to exchange the data to and from the web server, and when the data is being sent, the data has to be a string. Okay, so for that we have json.parse. There is one more important function, that is json.stringify. Now what does this do is, it is going to convert a JavaScript object into the string. Now everything we have studied is, we get the data as a string and we can convert it into the array index, or we can convert it into the objects. Now, how do we convert back the objects into the string? So this is possible with the help of something called as json.stringify. Like we write json.parse, in the same way we write json.stringify. Okay, so stringify a JavaScript object. Imagine we have an object in the JavaScript, constant. Okay, a constant. The name of the object is obj, equal to curly brackets, the same example of yesterday. Name is John, age is 30, city is New York. Okay, so this is suppose the string which has been, these are the object which has been created. So we can use something called a json.stringify, and we can convert this particular object back into the string. So how do I do it is, constant myJSON, I declare a constant myJSON, and this particular function I write as it is, json.stringify, and in bracket I declare the name which is there on the top while declaring the object obj. So this object name will come in the curly brackets over here, semicolon. So what will happen? This result will be a string following the JSON notation. That means the object which is which you get is converted back into the string and it can be used. So these are just vice versa. Previously, when we were using parts, what we were doing, we were passing the data. Okay, over here it was in terms of the array, and this was in terms of accessing of each of the attribute. But over here we are doing exactly the opposite thing. We are now converting the data, whatever is there, into the JavaScript string. We are converting it into the string, whatever is the object. Okay. So I just show you all one example of the same. So the same syntax that you see over here, I'm just copying down into my editor, and let us see what output we get. So this is my normal program, doc type HTML, body, header, okay, PID, and my script is there. So in between the script, I'm going to write whatever that was onto the screen. Okay, that is, I have declared a constant whose name is obj, and I have declared that particular string which is there, name John, age 30, city New York. Constant my JSON, I have created one more particular object, my JSON, and I am using that function, that is json.stringify. Okay, json.stringify, and in bracket obj. Okay, semicolon, and document dot get element by id demo, it is the same name which I give over here. Okay, dot inner html. Why inner html? So that my html properties are set correctly, equal to the name, whatever is the name now, that name I'm writing over here. Okay, so when I run, what should I get? What is my program doing? I'm creating a JSON string from the JavaScript object. So the object that you have created, I'm converting it back into the string. So when I say my JSON, the whole thing should come as a string. So when I say run, you will get it in form of a string. Okay, name is also into the double quotes, John, age 30, city New York. Over here it was the object created, over here is the string that you are getting back. Okay, so this is a simple program to convert back the object into the string. Okay, the object that was created, you are converting it back to string with the help of json.stringify. Okay, coming back, this program we have already seen. yesterday's. Okay, now let us see know how this particular program can be used. Before that, I will teach you some of the basic things which are required. Okay, that is, we know how to create array, right? Now we know how to create an object. Let me also check how to access this particular array values with the help of a for loop. Okay, I'll do that. I'll just show you all a simple program. Okay. So what I'm doing is, this is my program. The basic structure is there itself. I'm just making certain changes into my script. Okay. I'm copying the first two statement of the same program. Okay. What I've done, constant my JSON. I've created, I'm creating a array. Uh, I'm creating, sorry, this is my string which is there. Okay, open inverted, name John, age 30, cars, and inside the cars I'm creating a array of it. Okay, now see, this part is what I'm creating a string. Okay, and this part is I'm creating a array, the same thing that we have seen back. I just share this tab. Over here was how I create a array. My array equal to so and so things. Okay, and this was the example that we had done yesterday. Name I have declared, age I have declared, and inside the car I have declared it as a array value. So I can access each of them. So the same example I am copying over here, and I am checking what will be the output. Sorry, over this particular output. So I've declared a constant my JSON. Okay, name is John, age is 30, and cars I've put three things. I'm declaring one more constant whose name is my obj equal to JSON dot parse. Why? Because the data which is received, it is in a string form. I'm converting that particular data. So that's why I use JSON dot parse, and in bracket I put the name of the object which is created, that is my JSON. Now see the syntax for the for loop. See how it works. Let text equal to empty. Okay, there is no text. Okay, I'll explain you all the meaning of this. Coming to my for loop, I say for let my I be equal to 0. Okay, till my I is less than my object dot cars dot length. What I am saying is, what is the length of my car? It is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, assuming that my array index starts with 0, so car of 0 is Ford, car of 1 is BMW, car of 2 is Fiat. Okay, so till my length, okay, till my length is less, doesn't exceed the maximum length of the car's value, I'm going to increment my I. Okay, so this is my simple for loop. I starts with 0, it will go on until it is less than the total maximum length of the cards. So actually it should be cards dot length, but since it is a object, I am accessing this cards length with a period operator. I say my obj dot cards dot length. Okay, I plus plus. I open the curly bracket, I say text. Right now my text is nothing. Okay, that's why I have put it as an empty space. Okay. So, like we say in normally words, no, let I be equal to 0. In the same way, we declare it into the JavaScript. I will say let my text be right now empty. Okay. So text plus equal to, that means text is equal to text plus my obj dot cars. My obj dot cars means what? I am accessing this particular attribute, cars attribute, car of I. Okay, so my obj car of 0, my obj car of 1, my obj car of 2. Okay, plus comma, that means after each of them the comma shall come. Okay, this ends my for loop over here, and then I say document dot get element by id demo, the same particular id which I have mentioned over here, dot inner html equal to text. I want to display what? I want to display the final text that comes. That's why I say equal to text and then I say semicolon. Okay. So this is a simple program, okay, using a for loop how to access the array element. See, I repeat again, this whole is my string. Okay, this whole is my string. So what I do is, I have parsed that particular string. I am converting this string into the object. Now, if you see, these cars have a like array elements because there are three things which are listed, and I have to access this particular array element. So what I do, I can say my obj.name, my obj.age, it will display the name, it will display the age. Now since there are three elements into the cars, I have used a for loop and I say car of I. I am incrementing my I up till I reach the whole car length. Okay, till my length car exceeds, because once I say, see, first is 0, okay, the length is what? 0 1 2. Okay, so 0 is less than 2, it will work. Then it will increment I. Is 1 less than 2? Yes, it will work. Is 2 less than 2? It will display and then it will go out. Okay, so 3 less than 3, so it will work in this particular manner. And finally, when it is out of the for loop, it is going to display the final text which is there. See, when I say text plus is equal to means what? Text equal to text plus my obj dot cards of I. Okay, I hope you all know this, huh? So this works in this way. Now let us run and see what we get the output. So what I am getting? Ford, BMW and Fiat. Okay. So a car of 0 gets displayed, car of 1 gets displayed, car of 2 gets displayed. Now just imagine if my I value, it starts with 1. Let us see what output we get. We get only BMW and Fiat. Why? Because car of 0 is 4. By default, array indexes starts with 0, 0, 1 and 2. So what it will do, 0 is not there only. So it will ignore the first element. The I is BMW, sorry, 1 is BMW and 2 is Fiat is going to display. Okay. So that will work. Now if I say this less than, okay, equal to, what happens? It becomes undefined. Why undefined? Because the fourth element is not there after Fiat. Because it says less than equal to, so it doesn't know which is the fourth element. That's why undefined comes over here. So this is how a normal for loop runs. Okay, a simple way of accessing the elements. Now I'll show you all one more example. Now, see, this is a normal way of how you declare a for loop. There is something called as a for in loop. Okay, it is actually different, two different ways of accessing the element. You can say let text equal to empty and and start with the for loop. The same thing, the same output you can get with a different declaration. Okay, which is more or less the same. Only thing, there is a change in the for loop. Okay. I'll show you all. Now if you see, the rest things remains the same, constant my JSON, constant my object, JSON dot parse, okay. Let text be equal to empty, that is also same. Only thing, there is a change in the for loop. What I say, for, open the round brackets, let I in my obj dot cars. What is my obj dot cars? This particular value, right? This particular value. So they are saying let my I in this particular scenario be text equal to text plus my obj dot cars of I. That means Ford, then BMW, then Fiat. That is, you go on incrementing up till all the elements are over in this particular array, that is my obj.cars. You start with the I value. By default, it will start with 0, 1, 2, 3, so and so. Okay, so when you run this particular thing, you will get the same output which is there. Okay, so this is also another way of declaring a for loop. This is a simple for loop for let I in my obj.cars and display that text equal to text plus my obj.cars of I. You go on incrementing up until all the elements are over. So that means if I say, if I put a comma and then I put one more, suppose, see, carefully. So when I run, what will happen? All the elements get displayed. That means what? Let I in my obj.card. So how many elements, whatever elements are mentioned, if there are 5 elements, all 5 will get displayed. If there are 10, all 10 will get displayed. So this does what? It will display everything. Let I in my obj.card. So it will display all the functions. Now if I consider the same thing, okay, in my previous example, okay. This was my previous example. It had a different functionality. For let I equal to 0 till my I is less than my obj.cars.len, so and so. So if I put over here those things, okay, if I run, you will get all. But if I don't want the first 2 elements, okay, I can start with the second element. I can do it over here. Okay, so what I can control is from which element I can start, I can control over here. Whereas in the previous scenario which was there, when I say let I in my obj, it will display all the elements which are there. Okay, whereas in the other example, it will display only the elements which are present. Okay, so these are the ways in which you can declare the things. Clear enough? So this is how you declare your for loop. Okay, now coming to the next part. So right now we know JSON.parse, we know JSON.stringify. Okay, we know how to convert a string into the array objects, a string into the elements which can be accessed by the attributes. We also know how to convert a JavaScript object into the string pack. Okay, now coming to the next part, this is an example which shows creation of an object in JavaScript using JSON. So what I'm doing is I just copy down this code, okay, and then we'll see each of the output. So I just what I do is I just copy the code. Is it time up? Okay. Uh, so what I'll do is I just explain first all the code over here itself. See, we have HTML, head, title, creation of array object in JavaScript using JSON. This is a title. I'm opening my script, okay, script JavaScript, document.writeln, JSON array object. See, in the yesterday's class, I had mentioned that if you want to include headers, you have to include the headers into the double inverted commas. So it will, display as a H2 header. Then I've created, like we have employees, this is a variable books. I open, there are 2 types of book. One is Pascal, one is Scala, and each of the attributes are there, name and price, name and price. Similarly, name and price. I'm starting variable I equal to 0, okay. Document.writeLn, it is table border equal to 2. That means I'm creating a table. I'm setting a border of the table as 2. I'm opening a for loop for I equal to 0 till my I is less than books.pascal.len. That means what? I'm accessing the attribute of the Pascal book. This is Pascal, right? There are two books, there are two entries. Therefore, till Pascal.len, that means till 2. Books.pascal.len, which is 2. Till all the two elements are over, all the two entries are over, we are going to do the same for all the contents. Document.writelntd, that is table data. Table border is 1, you have set a width for it. Okay. Then table row, you are starting, the first entry is name, you have specified width for it, you are making it bold with the help of B. Then plus books.pascal I.name. Why I.name? There are two entries in Pascal, right? One is Pascal made simple, one is guide to Pascal. There are two entries. Therefore, I have used a for loop that will first it will be Pascal made simple. It will display the name. It will display the price. Then second thing, it will be guide to Pascal, and then it will display the price. Okay. So till this is over, it will display the name and price. Similarly, sorry, this is for name and this is for price, and then that particular table is over and the table data ends. Similarly, for books.scalar.len, that is the second entry. Also over here we have the two entries. So the same thing for itself. Table border width is there. Name will get displayed. Okay. Books.scala I.name. The first entry, the name of it, the price of it. The second name of it, the price of it. It will get displayed. You close the table. You close the table data. Finally, you close the whole of the table and your script. Okay. So what happens over here? This is a simple program that is going to display a table, and that will give you the output. Okay. What will be the output of it and how it will work? We are going to look into the next class. Okay. So this is how a simple this is a simple program where we are incorporating for loop and trying to check what type of output we are getting. Okay, using JavaScript and JSON.